Hey Daytona parents, I am so excited for Daytona this year. We're leaving in just a couple of days, but I want to make sure that you get the last minute details that you need. Hopefully by now you've already seen a packing list, you've seen a little bit of a schedule, you filled out way too many forms, but I want to give you just a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like when you're checking your student in as we're going to Daytona and sort of what the schedule looks like while we are actually in Daytona. So first, let's talk a little bit about check-in. We are trying to leave the Relevance Center at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. That's Sunday, July 19th, this coming Sunday. So in order to do that, we need to make sure that we are showing up a bit before 7 so that we can at least be getting out of here by the time 7 o'clock rolls around. Our ask is that students would be here between 6:15 and 6:30. The sooner that students get there, the sooner they can get on the bus and the more likely they are to get a seat around their friends where they want. So the earlier you get here, the better. Ultimately, when you walk in for check-in, there's going to be 4 different tables. A table for freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Single student checks in. Whether or not you have medication, every student needs to start out by walking to one of those tables and checking in so that we know you're here. Do not get on the bus until after you've checked in. At the check-in table, if your student has prescription medication that they are taking, they need to turn that medication in. So you will go to the medication table. If you want to speed up that process for us, it would be super helpful if you already had medication in one of these. These are daily pill organizers where you can split your students' pills up by day. You probably have some sitting around the house. If not, you can go get them for real cheap on Amazon or at Walgreens. If your student only takes medication in the morning, just one of these already split up with what they need on the day that they need it. All you need to do is check it in, they'll put it in a bag, and you're already done. If you have a student who needs to take medication in the morning and in the evening, my encouragement would be to bring 2 of them. You have one for the morning, one for the evening, and it'll make our lives significantly easier, and you will be in and out of the medication table as soon as you can. As soon as you're done checking in medication, there'll be one last table to go to with your t-shirt. You'll get a t-shirt that looks just like this, and just like this. And once your student has your t-shirt, they can then get on the bus. But please know this, when your student gets on the bus, they are on the bus until we leave. So there's no getting off the bus once you've gotten on the bus. So once their luggage gets under the bus, give them a hug, say you love them, say goodbye, they'll get on the bus, and they are staying on the bus until we leave. Next, I want to go over the bus ride just a little bit. This is going to be a super long bus ride. Right now, we're prepared for 32 hours on the bus. Hopefully, we're able to shorten that down with some of our stops, but there is a chance that your student is going to be on a bus for 32 long hours. So how can your student prepare the best for that? First, our ask is that on Sunday morning, that you feed them prior to showing up to check-in. Give them some food, give them something that is of redeeming value, because when they're actually on the bus, they're going to spend most of their time eating M&Ms and peanut butter cups, if I had to guess. So give them something of redeeming value. If you're running a little bit late, you don't have time to get something, then send them with some sort of food they can have, maybe there in the first hour to hour and a half. Again, some food of redeeming value so that we can start the trip off as well as possible. The second thing that we need, or that we will request from you, is pack them a sack lunch. Now, this is something that we've never tried before, but we're not actually trying to make a stop for our lunch break. We will stop at a gas station, or we will stop at a rest stop, but we are encouraging parents to pack a lunch for their student. This could be in a lunchbox, this could be in a brown plastic bag, it could be in a Target bag. I don't care what it's in, but pack them a lunch. That way we can just keep going all the way. So our first stop ends up being dinner and doing a driver switch while we're somewhere in the St. Louis area. If you don't pack a lunch for your student, well, we're going to provide what we're simply calling a Coleman lunch, which is my best lunch. It's going to be an Uncrustable sandwich and a small bag of chips. That's what they're having for lunch if you don't pack them a lunch. So we will have enough Uncrustables for everyone, but I would suggest maybe packing something for your students that they want to eat for lunch on Sunday. Then we will stop for dinner on Sunday night. We'll do a driver switch around the same time, and that is where you're going to need cash or you're going to need a card. One of the biggest questions I always get with this trip is, how much money do I send with my students? Well, obviously that is completely up to you. You can send them with $50, you can send them with $150, you can send them with $500. It's 100% up to you, but here's what I would be thinking about. Students will for sure be buying dinner on Sunday night, breakfast Monday morning, and lunch on Monday afternoon. Then every meal while we're in Daytona is provided for them, and then on the way home, they're gonna have to do a similar thing. They will be buying lunch on Friday afternoon, they'll be buying dinner on Friday night, and they'll be buying breakfast on Saturday morning. So you're thinking maybe 6 meals that they're paying for. You know how much your kid eats. You know how much maybe something from fast food would cost them to get. I would say whatever that amount is for 6 meals is the minimum that you should send them with. The only other thing they'll be spending money on potentially is souvenirs or merchandise. There are going to be t-shirts that are for sale in Daytona that are done by the camp itself. There's some really cool t-shirts. The cheapest t-shirt I believe is $25 and the most expensive sweatshirt is $45. So students might want to purchase one of those. Most end up with a t-shirt. The sweatshirts normally go really quick. The sweatshirt this year, definitely on the feminine side. So male students could probably focus in on just one of the t-shirts, as well as there's plenty of places to shop in Daytona where they might want to buy a t-shirt or buy a little something for you or their siblings or maybe a significant other. So it's totally up to them on what they're going to spend that money on, but you need to decide how much money that is going to be. The last question is, do I need to send cash or do I need to send card? In my opinion, it is easiest to send a card. Obviously they can lose the card, but more likely they are to just throw that into their room and have it in one place where they're going to be able to come back to it when we're traveling home. Cash is always doable, but there will always be a place for them to use their card where we are going. For all the merchandise, for all the shopping, for all the meals that we have to buy on the trip, there will always be a place that you can use a card. It is much simpler to use a card than have to carry the cash, but if you're not sure exactly how to use a card when it comes to getting a Visa card or giving them a debit card or giving them a credit card and you're not sure, then you can just send them with cash and cash will be just fine as well. And if for some reason we're at a cashless spot, they can hand the cash to a leader and the leader can ultimately pay for their meal or whatever it is that they're trying to buy. The last thing I want to talk about is the schedule while we are in Daytona. Our goal is to make it to Daytona by 3 p.m. on Monday. Now, there's a chance we're going to get there a lot earlier than that, especially if the lunches, the sack lunches and everything go the way we plan. We might get there significantly earlier. If that's the case, we're going to our hotel, we're dropping our stuff in the ballroom, and we're headed out to the beach or hanging out by the pool. That sounds great to me. So I would love to get there earlier, but we're also prepared to get there between 3 and 4 p.m. when our rooms will actually be fully ready. What Monday is going to look like is by 6 o'clock, we're eating dinner. 7 o'clock, we're going to our first session. And then by about 9 or 9:30, we're already headed back to the hotel and we're going to spend the night. There's no late night activities on Monday night. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all look the same in structure, but the things that we're doing are going to be just a little bit different. We'll start every morning by 8:45 where we will head down to the Ocean Center. This is a 2-mile drive. Don't worry, our buses are going to be shuttling us back and forth. So we're not just going to be walking that 2 miles every single time. There'll be a shuttle taking us back and forth. We'll go from our hotel to the Ocean Center, which is the conference center in which all of Daytona actually happens. And we will have a breakfast and a leader meeting. The leaders will all head to their meetings. Students will head to a breakfast and a devotional time. We'll come back together and we'll go for session 1. Session 1 is 2 to 2.5 hours long, but that's because it includes a giant game, it includes long worship, and it has a message. And then after that, we will go have a grab-and-go lunch and head to our small groups. Ultimately, we will get back on our bus with our lunches, and we will drive back to our hotel where we will have our lunches and have our small group time. Because after small group time is everybody's favorite time, it's free time. This is our time to be at the beach, be by the pool, hanging out with our friends, doing all the things that we love about Daytona. Now, during this time, we are going to be at our hotel. Yes, that's 2 miles away kind of from everything else, but there's a few different churches who are going to be there with us. We've rented out the entire hotel, so we are the only ones who are staying there, are all a part of this Daytona trip. So there's no need to worry about that. But ultimately, we have our entire group there. We're going to be hanging out at that hotel. There will be an option for students to walk with their leader and their entire groups the 2 miles down the beach to go where everybody else is, but that is not a requirement. We are going to be staying by our hotel, and that's going to be where students are encouraged to hang out in the ocean, hang out at the beach, and hang out at our pool. After that, about 4 p.m., free time will end, and we'll have a little hour and a half to 2 hour break where students are going to be able to shower up for the evening sessions, take a nap if they need to after all the fun things that they did during free time, and just prepare themselves for dinner and our evening session. Around 5:45, we'll head back down to the Ocean Center. We'll have dinner. We will then go to our night session. We'll have small groups right after our night session, and then we will have our late night event. Tuesday night, our late night event is a silent disco. There is a theme for the silent disco. The theme is the movie Cars or NASCAR. So I've seen a lot of people buying some Cars t-shirts, have Lightning McQueen, Mater, and other characters from the movie Cars. And I've seen a lot of people buying some NASCAR stuff. I myself bought a NASCAR racing suit that's orange, Go Sabre, I guess. And I'm going to be dressed up head to toe in a NASCAR suit along with a couple other guys who are going to be meeting us down there. And then Wednesday night is our arena night. Arena night is where we get in our teams that we've been using all summer long in the Summer Showdown, and we're going to break up into our teams. It's going to be high competition, and it is amazing. I mean, you can just imagine like 4,000 people in a room that's like Baxter Arena with a whole bunch of high school students playing dodgeball and all kinds of different games that's just high energy, trying to win, and ultimately they're going to crown a Daytona Summer Showdown champion. Wednesday night is a super fun night. They're just going to come decked out in their team colors. So if you're Sabre, that's orange. Sabre are the freshmen. If you are a sophomore, you're the Kraken. That is green and kind of a black. And then if you are a junior, you are Avalanche. They are a light blue and white. And finally, our seniors are Voltage. They are blue and yellow. So students are going to come showing up in their best team colors, head to toe. Some might even bring some paint or some glitter or whatever it is that they want. They're going to be doing that on Wednesday night. Then Thursday night is our extended worship time. This is going to be about an hour and a half of just worship together. It's our last night there. It's a powerful moment for us to kind of cap off the trip with an amazing time together in worship. Every single night, that'll be done around 10:30 to 11 o'clock, where we will head back to our hotels. By the time we get back to our hotel, all students will be staying in their rooms at that point, and there's no need to come out. They'll be sleeping, and when the whole thing will start over the next day until it brings us to Friday. On Friday, we are trying to leave at 6 a.m. So we're getting on the road, we're getting up early, and we're just going to start driving because the sooner we leave, the sooner we get back home. We are going to provide some sort of breakfast for students. It might be something small, but we want to get them to eat something in the morning. At that point, they're probably all going to be super tired after the week that we've had and probably sleep in even on the bus just a little bit after we get started. Then we'll stop for lunch, we'll stop for dinner, we'll drive through the night, and we'll wake up in the morning and get some breakfast. Our goal is to be back home between 12 and 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Guys, I am so excited for everything that Daytona has prepared for us. I've been in meetings for months about this. We've been planning it out, and what is going to happen at Daytona is going to be truly amazing. My hope is that this video just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, have a little more idea of what's going to be going on in Daytona, what check-in is going to look like, and what your students need for cash or card while they are in Daytona. If you have more questions, you can reach out. Obviously, my email is blowing up just a little bit right now as we lead to this, so have a little bit of grace as I'm trying to get back to everyone. But feel free to reach out to me. I would love to answer as many questions as I can.